Hey, it's Brandon Vogt, author of Why I Am Catholic and You Should Be Too, which is a new, fresh case for Catholicism. Why be Catholic? Because the Catholic Church built Western civilization. Now, this doesn't mean our culture derives entirely from Catholicism, but the Church's contributions are massive, more than any other source. From music to art to architecture, from science to law to economics to morality, many of the foundations that we take for granted today are deeply rooted in Catholicism. Now, let me give you three quick examples. First, science. Some people think that religion and science are at odds. But did you know that many of the greatest scientific founders were not only religious, but Catholic clerics? For instance, who came up with the scientific method? Roger Bacon, a Franciscan friar. Who is considered the founder of geology? Nicholas Steno, a Catholic priest. Who founded modern atomic theory? Father Roger Boscovich, another priest. The study of earthquakes was so dominated by Jesuits, which is a Catholic religious order, that seismic research became known as the Jesuit science. And it was a Jesuit priest, Father J.B. McElwain, who wrote the first seismology textbook in America. Perhaps the greatest example, though, is Father Georges Lemaitre, the founder of the Big Bang Theory. Few people know that a Catholic priest first formulated the most popular theory describing the origin of the universe. So, if you like science, you can thank many Catholics who paved the way. The Catholic Church loves science, embraces science, and has long been one of its greatest proponents. Here's a second way the Church built Western civilization: the universities. If you've studied at a university or a college, if you have a college degree, you can thank the Catholic Church. After the fall of Rome, the conquering barbarians had little interest in preserving education or ancient texts, so the Catholic monasteries stepped in. Devoted monks produced thousands of books, and they preserved many others that otherwise would have been lost. They established schools in their cathedrals and churches, which became the first universities complete with degrees and accreditation. In fact, the universities that we recognize today, with their faculties, courses of study, examinations, and degrees, even the familiar distinction between undergraduate and graduate study, all of that comes to us directly from the Catholic Church. So if you agree that colleges are a good thing for society, thank the Catholic Church. Finally, here's a third way the Catholic Church has built Western civilization: modern charity. In the ancient world, charity was rare. Most ancient giving was self-interested. Donors gave for the notoriety that it earned them, or because it put other people in their debt. But the idea that they should happily support the needy for their own sake, without any reward or reciprocity, that would have seemed absurd to them. That's why the Catholic Church's charity was so revolutionary in the first century. Following Jesus' commands to radically care for the poor and the marginalized, Catholics were the first group to institutionalize charity for the poor, the sick, widows, and orphans. Early Christians imposed fasts on themselves so that they could save the money that they otherwise would have spent on food, and they instead gave it to those in need. They even cared for their enemies, serving their own persecutors. Now, we take it for granted today that charities are admirable, but that the preference for the poor and forgotten was mainstream didn't become that way until it arose through the Catholic Church. Now, those are just three of the many ways that the Catholic Church has helped build Western civilization. We could also talk about its influence on law, economics, democracy, human rights, and so much more. Now, to be sure, the Catholic Church has its blemishes. I don't mean to whitewash its history by any means, but the fact is, the Catholic Church has contributed a massive amount of good to Western civilization and has been its most indispensable builder. And that's a great reason to be Catholic. Want more videos like this one? Find them at whycatholicbook.com, where you can also pick up a copy of my new book, Why I Am Catholic and You Should Be Too. Again, just visit whycatholicbook.com for more.